If you're lying in bed right now and your body feels tired, but your mind won't slow down, this is for you. Maybe you turned off the lights. Maybe you tried closing your eyes. Maybe you even told yourself, okay, time to sleep. But instead of drifting, your thoughts started speeding up. Random memories, things you said earlier, things you should have said, things you need to do tomorrow, small worries that suddenly feel bigger. And now, the more you try to stop thinking, the louder it gets. If that sounds familiar, stay with me, because what's happening right now is not weakness. It's not broken sleep. And it's not something you have to fight. It's something we can gently redirect. Most people make one mistake in this moment. They try to force their mind to be quiet. They try to block thoughts, or replace them with positive thinking, or they start deep breathing aggressively. And that effort actually tells the brain something important. It tells the brain there's a problem. And when the brain thinks there's a problem, it stays awake to solve it. So tonight, we're not solving, we're not forcing, we're not fighting racing thoughts. We're lowering urgency, because racing thoughts are not the real problem. Urgency is when you lie down in bed, your environment becomes quiet, dark, still, and without distraction. Your brain finally has space to process, space to replay, space to predict. During the day, you're too busy to notice how active your mind is. But at night, there's nothing competing with it. So it feels louder, more intense, more important. But here's something most people don't realize. Your brain is actually more suggestible at night, more emotionally sensitive, which means small thoughts feel bigger. And what if questions feel more urgent? This isn't reality, it's chemistry. Your cortisol rhythm is shifting, melatonin is rising, your body temperature is dropping. You're in between states, half awake, half drifting. And in that in-between state, the brain sometimes tries to regain control by thinking. So instead of trying to stop thinking, we're going to give your mind something safer to do. But first, don't move too much. If you're already lying down, stay there. Let your body remain heavy, even if your mind feels active. Notice how your body still feels tired. Your arms are resting, your legs are warm, your eyelids feel slightly heavy. That means sleep pressure is present. We don't need to create sleep. We need to stop interrupting it. Now gently check your jaw. Is it slightly tight? If it is, let it soften. Not dramatically, just unclench. Let your tongue drop to the bottom of your mouth. Good. Now notice your shoulders. Let them sink 1 small degree deeper into the mattress. You don't need a big adjustment, just subtle softening, because tension feeds urgency, and urgency feeds racing thoughts. We're lowering both. Now listen closely. The goal is not to eliminate thoughts. The goal is to change your relationship to them. Right now, your thoughts feel loud because you're engaging with them. You're evaluating them, responding to them, following them. Instead, imagine your thoughts are like subtitles on a screen. They appear, but you don't have to read them. They can pass by without reaction. You don't push them away. You don't dive into them. You just let them exist in the background. And now, let's slow your breathing in a very specific way. Not a big inhale, not dramatic, just natural. Inhale normally, and on the exhale, let it last slightly longer than the inhale, just slightly, like you're quietly fogging a mirror. Inhale, soft, exhale, longer, good. Again, inhale naturally, exhale slowly, longer, longer. Exhale signals safety to your nervous system, and safety reduces urgency. And when urgency lowers, thought speed lowers too. You may notice your mind interrupting. Is this working? That's okay. That's just another thought. Let it pass like the others. There is nothing to achieve here. No performance, no timeline. Even if you don't fall asleep immediately, resting calmly still restores you. So there is no failure happening. That pressure can drop. And if racing thoughts have been a frequent pattern lately, and you sometimes feel like your nervous system struggles to unwind at night, some listeners have added a gentle nighttime support to their routine. Nothing intense, just something simple to help signal calm to the body. If that ever feels supportive for you, you can find it waiting in the pinned comment below, only if it feels right. For now, we continue here. Notice again how your body feels heavier than your thoughts. Your body wants to sleep. Your mind just hasn't caught up yet, so we help it catch up without force. I want you to imagine something simple. Picture a dimmer switch. Earlier tonight, your mind felt like it was on full brightness. Now, with each slow exhale, that brightness lowers just a little. Not off, just dimmer. Inhale, exhale. Dim slightly. Inhale, exhale. Dim again. You don't need to visualize perfectly. Just sense the lowering. Racing thoughts cannot sustain themselves without stimulation. When you stop fueling urgency, they slow naturally. And here's something reassuring. The fact that your mind is racing right now does not mean you won't sleep. In fact, many people fall asleep right after a period of racing thoughts, because once the brain exhausts its loop, it lets go. We're just speeding up that letting go, gently. Now, in part 2, I'm going to give your mind something structured and repetitive, something predictable, something just interesting enough to hold attention, but boring enough to lead to sleep. That's the sweet spot. For now, keep your body still. Keep your exhale slightly longer than your inhale. Let your jaw stay soft. Let your shoulders sink and allow your thoughts to lose their sharpness with every slow, steady breath. Right now, your mind may still be moving, not as fast as before, but still active. That's okay. We're not in a rush. Remember, racing thoughts slow down gradually, not instantly. And the reason they feel strong at night is because your brain is searching for something to focus on. It doesn't like empty space. When the lights go off, when the room becomes quiet, the brain says, okay, what now? And if you don't give it something steady, it creates something dramatic. So instead of trying to silence your mind, we're going to give it something simple, something repetitive, something neutral, because repetition is soothing to the nervous system. and neutrality removes emotional charge. First, let your body remain exactly where it is. Stillness is your ally. Now imagine you are gently counting backwards from 100, but not quickly and not perfectly. You're not trying to reach 0. You're simply giving your mind a light task. I'll guide the first few with you. 100, slow breath out. 99, soft inhale. 98, long exhale. 97, slow and steady. 96, no urgency. If you lose track, that's good. That means your mind drifted, and drifting is the direction we want. We are not aiming for accuracy. We are aiming for gentle boredom. Continue silently now, just counting down at your own pace. And if a thought interrupts, you don't restart aggressively. You just return to the next number you remember, or guess. It doesn't matter. This is not a test, it's a rhythm. The brain can't fully spiral into anxiety while doing something mildly structured. It can try, but structure reduces emotional momentum. Now, notice something subtle. As you count, your breathing has naturally slowed. You didn't force it. It followed the rhythm. That's important, because the body often leads the mind. If the body feels calm, the mind recalibrates. Keep counting quietly. Let the numbers become softer, more spaced out. You may notice now, the numbers themselves feel less important, like background noise. That's good. Your mind is getting bored, and boredom at night is a doorway to sleep. Now, I want to shift the structure slightly. Instead of numbers, we'll use something even simpler. Imagine a soft wave moving in and out, not the ocean crashing, just a calm tide. With every inhale, the wave comes in. With every exhale, the wave slowly recedes. Inhale, wave rising. Exhale, wave falling. Slow, predictable, safe, nothing dramatic, nothing urgent. If a thought tries to attach itself to the wave, let it dissolve in the water. It doesn't stay. It doesn't build. It fades. Your brain likes imagery because it occupies visual processing. And when visual processing is engaged gently, verbal thinking slows down. That's what we're doing here. You might still notice anxious thoughts trying to surface. Tomorrow will be hard. I need to sleep. What if this doesn't work? Those are urgency thoughts. They are future-focused, and nighttime magnifies the future. But right now, the future is not happening. Only this breath is happening. Only this soft wave. Only this still body. And here's something important to understand. Anxiety in bed is often just leftover adrenaline from the day, not a new problem. Your body doesn't always shut down instantly when you lie down. It unwinds gradually, like a machine cooling off after running. You don't yell at a machine for being warm. You let it cool. That's what we're doing. Cooling, slowly. If racing thoughts have been a nightly pattern for you, and sometimes you feel like your nervous system stays slightly wired even when you're exhausted, some people find that supporting their evening routine gently makes a difference. Nothing dramatic, just something natural that signals when down to the body, if that ever feels aligned for you. You can quietly find it waiting in the pinned comment below, only if it feels supportive. For now, You're already shifting. Notice how your limbs feel heavier than they did 10 minutes ago. Notice how your eyes feel less alert. Notice how the thoughts have slightly less intensity. They may still appear, but they feel less sharp, less urgent. That's progress. And progress in sleep is subtle, not dramatic. Now we simplify even more. No counting, no waves, just breath. Inhale normally and exhale slightly longer. But this time, after the exhale, pause briefly, just 1 second. Then inhale again. Inhale, exhale longer. Tiny pause. Inhale. That tiny pause is powerful. It signals completion. Completion reduces looping, and racing thoughts feed on unfinished loops. We're giving your nervous system a sense of completion with every breath. Inhale, exhale longer, pause, again. You may notice your awareness dipping for a few seconds, then returning. That's okay. Those dips are the doorway. Each dip will get longer, each return softer, and eventually, there won't be a return for a while. Your body is designed to sleep, even if your mind resists briefly, and resistance is already decreasing. In part 3, we're going to move into a more immersive, slightly dreamlike structure, less instruction, more flow, allowing your thinking brain to rest completely. For now, stay here, still body, slow breath, long exhale, tiny pause, and let racing thoughts lose momentum as your nervous system remembers how to slow down on its own. You're doing well, even if your mind hasn't fully quieted. It's softer than it was, and softness is enough. From here, we stop guiding so actively and start drifting. Let your body remain completely still, not rigid, just settled. Notice how the mattress supports you without effort. You are not holding yourself up. You are being held. That alone reduces pressure. Now imagine something simple. You are in a dimly lit room at night, not bright, not dark in a heavy way, just soft blue shadows. Outside, it's quiet. Inside, it's warm. There is nothing to do. No one expecting anything from you. No decisions, no performance, just resting. If your mind tries to comment on this image, let it. But don't follow the commentary. Let the scene remain steady. Now imagine there is a small fireplace in the room. The fire is low, not bright, just glowing. Soft amber light flickering gently. The kind of light that makes everything feel safe. The kind of light that slows conversations. The kind of light that makes thinking feel unnecessary. Outside the window, it might be raining lightly. You can't hear it clearly, but you sense it. The world outside is cool, inside is warm, and you are in the warm part, protected, still, breathing slowly. Inhale, exhale longer. No rush, no urgency. Racing thoughts struggle in environments like this because they require stimulation. They require tension, and there is none here. If a thought tries to enter this space, imagine placing it outside the window, not throwing it away, just placing it out there, where it belongs for now. Tomorrow can handle it. Tonight doesn't need to. Notice how your body feels heavier than it did earlier. Heavier arms, heavier legs, heavier eyelids. Heaviness at night is not a burden. It's permission. Permission to stop holding everything up. You don't have to manage tomorrow from this bed. You don't have to solve conversations. You don't have to rehearse outcomes. Your only job right now is to lie here and breathe. Inhale softly. Exhale longer. That longer exhale is still guiding you, even when you're not thinking about it. Now imagine the firelight slowly dimming, not going out, just lowering slightly. With every exhale, the glow softens. Inhale, steady. Exhale, dimmer. Inhale, calm. Exhale, softer. The room becomes quieter. Your mind follows the light. Lower stimulation, lower thought speed. If you notice a sudden anxious thought, don't react to it. Anxiety at night often spikes briefly before fading, like a wave that rises quickly, then falls. You don't need to analyze it. It's just leftover energy leaving the system. Let it leave. You may begin to notice small gaps between thoughts, moments where there is nothing, just breath. Those gaps are expanding. Don't try to widen them, just notice them. The brain cannot stay in high alert without fuel, and you are no longer feeding it urgency. You are feeding it repetition, warmth, stillness, predictability. The fire continues to glow softly. Outside remains quiet. Your body remains heavy. If your mind starts drifting into random images, nonsensical little scenes, that's a good sign. That means the thinking brain is powering down. Dream fragments begin before sleep fully arrives. Let them appear. Let them disappear. No need to understand them. You might lose track of what was just said. That's okay. There is nothing important to remember here. There is nothing to learn, only something to feel. And what you're feeling now is the beginning of deeper calm. Notice how your breath feels almost automatic. You are no longer guiding it consciously. It is guiding itself. That sleep chemistry beginning to take over. Your nervous system is recalibrating, lowering adrenaline, balancing cortisol, increasing melatonin flow, all quietly, all naturally. You don't have to force sleep. You only have to stop interfering with it, and you are doing that. Now imagine the fire becomes just embers, a soft orange glow, barely flickering. The room is mostly blue now, deep navy shadows, soft violet edges, everything slower. Even time feels slower. If you drift away mid-sentence, that's perfect. That means your mind trusted the process. If you're still listening, that's fine too. There is no right pace. There is no failure. Even resting here like this counts as recovery. Your muscles are fully relaxed now, even the small ones in your hands, even the tiny ones around your eyes. Your jaw loose, your tongue resting, your shoulders heavy, your hips sinking deeper into the mattress. And racing thoughts are now just distant echoes. They might still appear faintly, but they don't grip, they don't demand, they don't escalate, they dissolve, because urgency dissolved. In part 4, we slow even further. Fewer images, longer pauses, more space between words, allowing you to slip gently from relaxed awareness into steady, natural sleep. For now, just remain here in the dim room, warm, still, breathing softly, letting the last traces of racing thoughts fade like embers cooling in the dark. The room is very quiet now, not empty, not cold, just quiet. The fire has softened into a low glow. Blue shadows stretch gently across the walls, and your body feels heavier than it did before. Not heavy in a trapped way, heavy in a supported way. Like gravity has increased slightly, but in your favor. You don't have to hold anything up anymore. Not your schedule, not your responsibilities, not your conversations, not your plans. Everything can rest outside this room, and you can rest inside it. Your breathing is steady. Inhale, soft. Exhale, longer. That longer exhale continues to signal safety, and safety is the opposite of racing thoughts. Racing thoughts need urgency. They need stimulation. They need tension. And none of those are present here. If a thought appears, it feels slower now, like it has to travel farther to reach you. And by the time it arrives, it's weaker, less convincing, less sharp. You don't argue with it. You don't analyze it. You let it pass. Your body is still, completely still. And stillness is powerful at night, because when the body stops moving, the brain eventually follows. You may notice a subtle floating sensation or a sinking sensation. Both are normal. Both are signs that your nervous system is shifting states. Awake, but loosening. Present, but drifting. If your awareness dips for a few seconds and then returns, that's okay. Those dips are the doorway, and each time you pass through it, it becomes easier. Now imagine the rain outside becoming softer, barely noticeable, just a faint rhythm in the distance. The world outside this room continues, but you are not part of it right now. You are separate from it, protected from it. Nothing outside needs your attention. Nothing outside requires your response. Inside this space, there is only breath, only warmth, only quiet. Your muscles are completely released now, even the ones you didn't realize were tight earlier. Your forehead smooth, your eyebrows relaxed, the tiny muscles around your eyes loose, your jaw unclenched, your shoulders melted downward, your hands open, your fingers soft, your legs heavy, your feet resting without tension. There is no effort left anywhere. An effort is what keeps the mind awake. Now that effort is gone, if you notice your thoughts trying one last time, perhaps whispering something about tomorrow, let them whisper. Whispers are harmless. They don't carry urgency anymore. Earlier tonight they felt loud. Now they feel distant. That distance is progress. You didn't force silence. You lowered urgency. And urgency fading changes everything. Your breath is so gentle now that you almost forget you're breathing. It happens on its own. Inhale, barely noticeable. Exhale, long and complete. After the exhale, a soft pause. That pause feels peaceful, complete. There is nothing unfinished in this breath, and that sense of completion reduces mental looping. Your body temperature is lower now. That natural drop signals deeper sleep. Your heart rate slower, your muscles slack, your thinking brain less active. You may begin to notice small, random dreamlike images, not fully formed dreams, just fragments, colors, shapes, moments without logic. That's a very good sign. It means the thinking mind is stepping aside. The dreaming mind is warming up. Let the fragments come. Let them fade. You don't need to understand them. There is nothing to figure out, nothing to decode, only drifting. Now the room grows even darker. The fire almost completely embers, just a faint glow, soft orange against deep navy blue. Your body feels almost weightless now, even though it is heavy. That strange combination is the edge of sleep. If your awareness slips away mid-sentence, that's perfect. You don't need to stay. You don't need to finish listening. There is nothing left to achieve here. Your nervous system is in control now. It knows the way from here. If your mind ever feels loud again on another night, remember this feeling, the slowing, the soft exhale, the heavy limbs. This space will always be available to you. No pressure, no expectation, just a place to unwind. But for now, there is nothing to think about, nothing to prepare, nothing to fix, only the gentle rhythm of breath, only the quiet dark, only the steady sinking into the mattress. You may feel like you are floating slightly above your body or sinking deeper into it. Either way, you are safe. Your thoughts are no longer racing. They are drifting, and drifting leads somewhere beautiful. Sleep doesn't arrive dramatically. It arrives gradually, like a dimmer switch lowering. And that switch is almost fully down now. In part 5, we slow even further. More silence, more space between words, more permission to let go completely. For now, remain here, breathing softly, body heavy, mind fading gently. Let the last remnants of racing thoughts dissolve, like mist disappearing in the cool night air. There is almost nothing left to adjust now. Your body has already settled. Your breath has already softened. Your thoughts have already slowed. From here, we don't guide. We simply allow. Notice how your body feels compared to the beginning. Earlier, there may have been tension, subtle tightness, a sense of mental speed. Now, everything feels lower, quieter, heavier. That heaviness is not exhaustion, it's surrender, and surrender at night is safe. Your shoulders rest deeply. Your arms feel loose and warm. Your hands are still. Your fingers relaxed without effort. Your legs sink into the mattress. Even your eyelids feel heavier. You don't have to close them tighter. They rest naturally. You're breathing, soft in, long out. Soft in, long out. Each exhale feels like a release, a small letting go. You may notice that you're no longer actively following every sentence. Some words drift by without meaning. That's good. Meaning is no longer necessary. Understanding is no longer required. This is no longer about learning. It's about drifting. If a thought tries to rise, notice how weak it feels. It doesn't have the same energy as before. It might begin, but it fades quickly, like a spark that doesn't catch. Racing thoughts lose strength when they aren't fed, and you stop feeding them. Your nervous system is fully in downshift now. Adrenaline low, cortisol quiet, melatonin flowing steadily. Sleep pressure still present. Even if you woke up anxious earlier, that anxiety is no longer running the system. Calm is, and calm feels different. Calm feels slow. Calm feels wide. Calm feels like space. Space between breaths. Space between thoughts. Space between words. There is space now. Let that space grow. Not by trying, just by not filling it. You don't need to think about tomorrow. Morning will arrive without rehearsal. You don't need to solve anything from this pillow. Solutions are clearer in daylight. At night, clarity is replaced with imagination, and imagination can exaggerate. So we don't engage imagination. We engage softness. Now imagine the room becoming even quieter. The faintest trace of rain outside, barely there. The air inside warm and still. The embers of the fire almost dark. Only a dim glow remains. The blue shadows deeper now. Comfortable, protective. There is nothing sharp in this space. No harsh light. No sudden noise. No urgency. Only rhythm. Only breath. Only sinking. You might feel your awareness dipping more frequently. Moments where you lose track of the voice. Moments where time disappears. That's not distraction. That's transition. Each dip is longer. Each return shorter. Eventually, there will be no return for a while. And that's sleep taking over. You don't need to monitor it. You don't need to measure it. Monitoring activates the mind, and the mind no longer needs activation. It needs rest. Your body feels almost distant now, like it's resting somewhere else, supported completely. If you imagined moving your arm, it would feel unnecessary, too much effort, so you don't. Stillness is easier. And when stillness is easier than movement, sleep is near. Your breath continues automatically. You don't guide it anymore. It guides itself. Inhale, barely noticeable. Exhale, long and slow. That long exhale is like a quiet sigh, a signal that everything is safe, a signal that nothing is chasing you. A signal that you can let go completely. Now imagine that even the idea of racing thoughts feels distant, like something from earlier in the night, not relevant anymore. You are not fighting thoughts. You are floating beyond them. They cannot keep up with this pace. This pace is too slow for anxiety, too soft for urgency, too steady for overthinking. You may begin to feel small dream fragments again. A color, a face, a place, something random. Let it come, let it dissolve. Dreaming begins before full sleep, and you are crossing into that territory now. You don't need to hold on to this voice. You don't need to remember instructions. If you drift away in the middle of a sentence, that means this is working. That means your nervous system trusted the quiet. Your muscles are fully slack, your jaw loose, your tongue resting gently, your eyes heavy and still, your forehead smooth, your breathing steady. There is no effort left anywhere, and without effort, the mind cannot race. It only races when it's pushing, and pushing is over. Now we slow even more. Longer pauses between phrases, more space, more softness. Soft inhale, long exhale, pause, soft inhale, long exhale, pause. That pause after the exhale is becoming peaceful, almost like a tiny doorway, and each time you pass through it, you move deeper, deeper into rest, deeper into quiet, deeper into sleep. In part 6, we allow even more space, even fewer words, more silence than sound, so that listening becomes indistinguishable from dreaming. For now, just remain here, breathing softly, body heavy, mind fading. Let the last trace of mental movement slow to stillness and allow yourself to drift further and further into calm. You're drifting now, not fully asleep, not fully awake, somewhere in between, and that in-between space is gentle. Your body feels distant, heavy, warm, still. You're breathing so soft, it almost blends into silence. Inhale, barely there. Exhale, long and slow. There is nothing left to fix, nothing left to adjust. Earlier tonight, your mind may have been racing, searching, solving, replaying. But now, notice how far away that feels, like it happened hours ago, like it belonged to a different version of you, the version that was tense, alert, trying to control. That version has stepped aside. This version is quiet. You don't need to follow every word now. If sentences blur, let them blur. If your awareness drifts away, let it drift. You are not required to stay present. Presence is no longer necessary. Sleep is. Your arms feel heavier, your legs softer, your hands loose and warm. Even your breathing feels automatic. No effort, no guidance, just rhythm. Soft in, long out. There may be longer stretches now, where you don't register what was said, where your mind slips into small dream fragments. That's good. That means the thinking brain is dimming. The analytical part of you is powering down, and the dreaming part is waking up. You may notice tiny muscle twitches, or brief floating sensations, or the feeling of falling gently. All normal, all signs of transition. You don't need to respond. You don't need to correct anything. Just remain still. Stillness is deeper than effort. Now imagine the room dissolving completely. No walls, no window, no fireplace, only soft darkness, comfortable darkness, like being wrapped in night itself. Not empty, not lonely, just quiet and safe. The darkness holds you, supports you, cradles you. Your thoughts are barely forming now. If one tries to appear, it feels unfinished, like a sentence that never completes. That's because urgency is gone, and without urgency, thoughts don't build momentum. They dissolve before they form. Your breath continues, soft, slow, even. There is a long pause after each exhale now, a natural pause, peaceful, complete. In that pause, there is nothing, no image, no word, no concern, just stillness. Stay there, not by trying, but by allowing. You may lose awareness for several seconds at a time now, and when you return, it's softer, more distant, like waking briefly from a dream. Each time that happens, the next drift is deeper, longer, heavier. Soon, there will be no return for a while, and that is deep sleep arriving. You don't need to anticipate it. Anticipation activates the mind. There is no anticipation here, only surrender. Your face is completely relaxed, your jaw slack, your tongue resting gently, your eyelids still, your forehead smooth. There is no tension left anywhere, even the small muscles in your fingers, completely released. Your body belongs to the mattress now, fully supported, fully safe. If your mind whispers something faintly, let it whisper. Whispers don't disturb sleep. Only urgency does. And urgency has faded. You might feel like you're floating, or sinking, or drifting sideways. The sensation doesn't matter. The direction doesn't matter. Only the softness matters. Only the rhythm matters. Soft inhale, long exhale, pause. Soft inhale, long exhale, pause. The pause grows longer, and in that pause, your awareness thins. You may not even remember what the earlier parts of this audio said. That's okay. You don't need memory right now. You need rest. Memory organizes itself during sleep. Healing happens during sleep. Balance returns during sleep. And you are moving toward that balance now, gently, naturally, without force. If awareness slips away mid-sentence, let it. There is nothing important to hear next. There is no instruction that must be followed. Your nervous system has taken over. It knows what to do. Now we slow even more. Fewer words, more space, longer silence between phrases, soft breath, heavy limbs, darkness surrounding you. Racing thoughts are no longer relevant. They cannot survive in this level of calm. There is nothing left for them to grab onto. No urgency, no tension, no stimulation, only quiet, only warmth, only drifting. In part 7, we allow almost complete softness, almost complete silence. Words will become even more distant, even more spaced out, so that listening blends into dreaming. For now, remain here, heavy, still, breathing softly, and let yourself drift further and further into deep, steady rest. It's very quiet now, so quiet that even this voice may feel far away. That's how it should feel. You don't need to follow it closely anymore. You don't need to understand every word. You can let the sound drift around you, like distant wind at night. Your body is deeply relaxed, heavier than before, warmer than before, completely still. Your breathing, soft in, long out, so gentle it almost disappears. There is more space between breaths now, more space between thoughts, more space between sentences. And in that space, sleep grows stronger. If a thought tries to rise, it doesn't carry weight. It doesn't demand attention. It floats briefly, then dissolves, because the mind no longer has momentum. Momentum requires urgency, and urgency is gone. Your arms rest without effort, your legs fully surrendered, your hands loose and open, your shoulders melted downward. Even the tiny muscles around your eyes are relaxed. There is nothing left to hold up, nothing left to monitor, nothing left to solve. You might begin to notice longer stretches of blankness, moments where awareness disappears completely, then softly returns. Each time that happens, the next blankness lasts longer. The return becomes softer. Soon, there will be no return for a while. Your breathing remains steady. Inhale, barely noticeable. Exhale, long, slow, complete. That long exhale feels like a gentle sigh, a release, a soft letting go. And after each exhale, there is a pause. A quiet, still pause. In that pause, there is no thought, no image, no sound, just darkness, comfortable darkness, the kind that feels safe, the kind that feels protective. The darkness is not empty. It is full of calm, full of quiet, full of rest. If your mind tries one last time to create something, a memory, a plan, a small worry, notice how weak it feels. It starts, then fades, like mist evaporating in cool air. You don't push it away. You don't engage. It simply cannot sustain itself because the system has shifted. Your nervous system is in deep down regulation now. Heart rate slower, muscle tone lower, breathing shallow and smooth, brain waves slowing. You may feel tiny dream fragments forming more clearly now. Images without logic, scenes that don't connect. Let them appear, let them blur. Dreaming begins like this. Soft, fragmented, random, then deeper, more immersive. Your body feels almost absent now, as if it has blended into the mattress completely. You are not holding it. You are not aware of it fully. It rests on its own. If you imagine moving, it would feel unnecessary. Too much effort. Stillness is easier. And when stillness becomes easier than movement, sleep is close, very close. Your breath continues automatically. You are not guiding it anymore. It moves quietly, without instruction. Soft in, long out. Pause. Soft in, long out. Pause. The pauses grow slightly longer, and inside those pauses, your awareness thins, it softens, it dissolves. You may not even remember the last few sentences clearly. They blur together. Meaning becomes less important. Sound becomes background. Soon, even sound will fade. You don't need to hold on to this voice. You don't need to stay here. If you drift away completely right now, that's perfect. That means your system trusted the quiet. Your face is fully relaxed, your jaw slack, your tongue resting gently, your eyelids still and heavy, your forehead smooth, your body warm and safe. There is no tension left anywhere, no racing thoughts, no urgency, no pressure, only quiet, only darkness, only breath. The world outside continues, but you are not part of it right now. You are inside rest, inside calm, inside deep softness. And nothing outside can reach you here. Nothing needs your attention. Nothing requires your effort. You are allowed to let go completely. Now we slow even more. Longer space, fewer words, more silence, soft breath, long exhale, pause, soft breath, long exhale, pause. That pause is peaceful. That pause is deep. That pause is where sleep lives. Stay there, not by trying, but by allowing. And as we move into part 8, words will become even fewer, even softer, even more distant, until listening blends fully into dreaming, and dreaming carries you into deep, steady rest. For now, just drift. Let the quiet hold you. Let the darkness wrap around you. Let your mind dissolve gently into sleep. It's almost silent now. So silent that even this voice feels distant, like it's coming from far away. You don't need to follow it anymore. You don't need to listen closely. You can let it fade into the background. Your body is deeply asleep, or very close to it. Heavy, warm, still. You're breathing, soft in, long out, barely noticeable. There is more pause than sound now, more space than words, and that space is gentle. If you are still aware, notice how thin that awareness feels, like a light mist, not sharp, not focused, just faint. Your thoughts are no longer racing. They don't build. They don't repeat. They don't loop. If one appears, it fades before it finishes, because there is no urgency left to fuel it. Your nervous system is fully calm. Your muscles completely slack. Your heartbeat steady and slow. Even the tiny muscles around your eyes are resting. Your jaw loose, your tongue soft, your shoulders melted downward, your arms resting effortlessly, your legs heavy and quiet. There is no effort anywhere, and without effort, the mind cannot race. It only races when something feels urgent, and nothing feels urgent now. The darkness around you feels soft, not empty, not cold, soft, like a blanket of night, holding you, protecting you. You might drift away for several seconds at a time, then gently return, each return softer than before, each drift longer than the last. Soon, there will be no return for a while. Your breath continues, slow, smooth, automatic. Inhale, barely there. Exhale, long, complete. After the exhale, a long, quiet pause. That pause feels deep, peaceful, still. In that pause, there is no thought, no image, no need, just quiet. Stay there. If awareness slips away mid-sentence, that's perfect. You don't need to hear what comes next. There is nothing new to guide, nothing new to explain. Your body knows the rest of the way. Sleep is not something you achieve. It's something that happens when resistance fades, and resistance has faded completely now. You may begin to notice dream images becoming more immersive, not just fragments, but scenes, softly forming, then changing. Let them carry you. You don't need to understand them. Dreaming is the mind reorganizing itself, healing quietly, restoring quietly, without effort. Your body feels distant, almost weightless, or deeply sunk. Both sensations are signs of transition, your awareness thinning, your mind stepping back, the analytical part of you asleep now, the dreaming part gently active. There is nothing to manage, nothing to prepare. Morning will come on its own. You do not need to think about it. The night is holding you completely. Soft breath, long exhale, pause. Soft breath, long exhale, pause. The pause grows longer, and in that pause, you disappear for a moment, then maybe return faintly, each time more faint, more distant, more gone. If you are still slightly aware, let your attention rest only on the exhale, not the inhale, only the release, the letting go, long, slow, complete. And after it ends, allow everything to fade. No effort, no trying, no monitoring, just fading. Your thoughts are now so distant that they feel like echoes from earlier in the night. Not relevant, not present, just gone. Racing thoughts cannot exist here. This state is too slow, too deep, too quiet. Only sleep lives here. Deep, steady, safe sleep. And as we move into the final part, there will be almost no guidance at all. Only long stretches of quiet, long stretches of darkness, allowing you to remain asleep, undisturbed, protected. For now, just drift. Let the darkness surround you. Let the quiet deepen. Let your awareness dissolve completely. There is very little left to say now. Sleep is either here or just about to arrive. If you are still aware of this voice, it likely feels distant, soft, unimportant. That's how it should feel. You don't need to follow along anymore. You don't need to understand anything. You can let the words pass through you, like wind moving gently through trees at night. Your body is completely relaxed, heavier than before, warmer than before, fully surrendered. Your breathing, soft in, long out, steady and automatic. There is no effort in it. No guidance needed. It flows on its own. Inhale, barely there. Exhale, slow, complete. After the exhale, a long, quiet pause. That pause feels deep, safe, still. In that pause, your awareness thins. You may drift away completely for a while, then briefly return. Each time you return, it feels softer, more distant, less connected. Soon, there will be no return at all. Your thoughts are no longer forming clearly. If one tries to appear, it fades before it completes. Because there is nothing fueling it, no urgency, no tension, no stimulation, only quiet, only warmth, only darkness. Your nervous system is fully settled, heart slow, muscles slack, breathing smooth, brain waves lowering. You may be dreaming already, soft dream fragments, moments without logic. Let them unfold, let them change, let them carry you. There is nothing to hold on to here, nothing to manage, nothing to protect against. The night is gentle. The darkness is soft. Your body is safe. You might feel as though you are floating in warm darkness or sinking into it. Either way, you are supported, completely supported. Your arms feel distant, your legs heavy and quiet, your hands resting without sensation, your face smooth, your jaw loose, your tongue resting gently. There is no tension anywhere. No part of you is holding on. And when nothing is holding on, sleep deepens. Racing thoughts cannot survive here. They belong to alertness, and alertness has faded. If awareness flickers briefly, just return to the exhale, long, slow, complete, and after it ends, allow everything to fade again. No effort, no correction, no monitoring. Monitoring wakes the mind, and the mind is asleep now. If you find yourself drifting into full dream sequences, let them take you. You don't need this voice anymore. You don't need guidance anymore. Your system knows what to do. It always did. Earlier tonight, your mind may have felt fast, anxious, restless, but now that feels distant, unimportant, gone. Calm replaced it. Stillness replaced it. Softness replaced it. You didn't fight racing thoughts. You slowed the urgency beneath them. And when urgency dissolves, thoughts dissolve. Now there is only rhythm, only breath, only quiet. Soft inhale, long exhale. Pause, soft inhale, long exhale. Pause. The pause is longer now, and inside that pause, there is nothing. No awareness, no sound, no effort, just rest, deep rest, rest that repairs, rest that heals, rest that resets the nervous system. You may not remember these words in the morning. That's okay. You don't need memory of this. You need the result of this, and the result is happening now. Sleep is deepening, steady, continuous, uninterrupted. If you are fully asleep, these words are simply passing by softly, without disturbance. If you are lightly aware, let this be the last moment of awareness. Let the next exhale carry you fully into sleep, long, slow, complete. And then, nothing, just darkness, just quiet, just rest. As we move into the final part, there will be almost no words left, only long stretches of space, so that you remain undisturbed, protected, held by the night. For now, drift completely. There is no rush now, no direction to move in, no thought to follow, only this soft continuation of rest. Your body has already done the hard part. It slowed, it softened, it surrendered, and now it simply rests. You may not even be aware of where your arms are anymore, or how your legs are positioned. Your body feels distant, almost weightless, or deeply sunk. Either way, it is supported, completely supported. Your breathing continues quietly, soft in, long out, and after each exhale, there is that gentle pause. That pause is deeper now, longer, more comfortable. It feels natural to disappear inside it. If awareness fades for several seconds, let it. If you return briefly, that's okay too. Each return is softer than the last. Each drift lasts longer. You don't need to help it. You don't need to monitor it. Monitoring wakes the mind, and the mind is already resting. You might notice that thoughts no longer form in full sentences. They appear in fragments, single words, images, faint impressions. Then they dissolve. That dissolving is peaceful. It means there is no urgency left. Earlier tonight, there may have been tension, a sense of mental speed, a desire to solve something before sleeping. But now, that feels distant, unimportant, almost unreal. Racing thoughts lose their power in slow environments, and this environment is slow, very slow. Time feels stretched, soft. There is no clock here, no measuring, no counting hours. Even if you briefly wake during the night, rest is still happening. Healing is still happening. Your nervous system is still recalibrating. Sleep is not fragile. It returns easily when there is no pressure. And there is no pressure here. Only quiet. Only warmth. Only darkness. The darkness feels protective now. Not empty, not heavy, protective. Like a soft blanket around your awareness, holding you, cradling you. Nothing sharp can enter this space. No urgent thought, no sudden worry, no future scenario. They remain outside. You remain inside rest. If you notice dreamlike scenes forming more clearly now, allow them to take shape. They don't have to make sense. They don't have to connect. Dreaming reorganizes the mind quietly. It untangles what felt tangled. It smooths what felt sharp, without effort, without conscious work. You are not responsible for the process. Your body and brain are doing it automatically. All you are doing is allowing. Your breath is even softer now, almost invisible. Inhale, barely there. Exhale, long, slow, complete. That long exhale feels like a release of the entire day, a gentle surrender of everything that happened. You don't need to replay anything. You don't need to prepare for anything. Morning will handle that. Night handles rest. And you are fully inside night now. If your awareness flickers, let it flicker out. You don't need to hold on to this voice. You don't need to stay present. This space will always be here when you need it. On any night when your mind feels busy, when anxiety tries to whisper in the dark, when thoughts begin to race again, you can return. No expectation, no performance, just softness, just slowing, just the long exhale. Your nervous system remembers this pace now. It remembers how urgency dissolved. It remembers how thoughts lost their edge. It remembers how calm replaced tension. And it will remember again. But for now, you don't need to think about that. Now is only about drifting. Drifting deeper, drifting slower, drifting further from awareness. Your muscles are completely slack, even the tiny muscles in your fingers, even the ones around your mouth, even the small muscles behind your eyes. Everything is loose. Everything is quiet. There is nothing left to adjust, nothing left to guide, nothing left to solve. If you feel yourself disappearing mid-sentence, let it happen. That is not losing control. That is sleep taking control. And sleep is safe. Sleep is natural. Sleep is patient. It does not rush you. It waits for you to soften. And you have softened completely. Now the space between breaths grows longer. The pause after the exhale feels deeper, like stepping into warm water and staying there. You may not even hear the inhale clearly anymore, only the slow release, and then nothing. That nothing is peaceful. That nothing is where recovery begins. Your thoughts are gone now, or so faint they don't register. There is no racing here, no looping, no urgency, only steady rest. If you wake briefly later in the night, remember how small this moment became once you stopped resisting it. Remember the long exhale. Remember the pause. That is all you need. But you don't need to think about that now. Now there is only sleep, deepening, steady, uninterrupted. You are safe. You are supported. You are allowed to let go completely. And as awareness fades once more, let it fade fully into darkness, into quiet, into rest. By now, you are either deeply asleep or floating at the very edge of it. And that is exactly where you need to be. There is nothing more to guide, nothing more to adjust, nothing more to explain. Your body has taken over. Your breathing is steady, soft in, long out, slow, even, automatic. There may be long stretches now where you hear nothing at all. That is intentional, because sleep deepens in silence, and silence is everywhere. Your muscles are fully relaxed, your jaw loose, your tongue resting gently, your shoulders heavy, your arms still, your legs completely surrendered, your face smooth, no tension anywhere. If awareness flickers briefly, let it flicker, then let it fade again. There is no need to hold on, no need to listen, no need to stay. This space will always be here when you need it. On any night when your mind feels loud, when thoughts feel fast, when anxiety tries to rise in the dark, you can return. No pressure, no expectation, just softness, just slowing, just this quiet rhythm. You don't need to remember how you got here tonight. Your body remembers the path, the soft exhale, the longer pause, the stillness. That is enough. If racing thoughts ever try to visit again, remember how powerless they felt once urgency faded. You didn't defeat them. You simply stopped fueling them, and they dissolved. That is something your nervous system understands now, and it will remember. You may not even be hearing these words anymore. They may be blending into dreams, blending into darkness, blending into rest. That is perfect. There is nothing important left to hear, nothing to catch, nothing to complete. Morning will come on its own. Clarity will return on its own. Energy will rebuild on its own. You do not need to manage any of that from here. Right now, there is only sleep, deep, steady, restorative sleep. If at some point during the night you briefly wake again, remember this softness. Do not check the clock. Do not measure time. Just return to the long exhale. Long, slow, complete, and let the pause after it hold you. That pause is where sleep waits, and it always waits patiently. If you ever feel like your nights need a little extra support, something gentle to help your body unwind more easily, there is a simple nighttime support some listeners use quietly as part of their routine. Nothing extreme, just something to encourage calm. You can find it waiting in the pinned comment below, only if it feels right for you. For now, there is nothing to consider, nothing to click, nothing to decide, only rest. The night is holding you completely. The darkness is soft, comfortable, safe. Your breath continues. Soft in, long out. Pause. Soft in, long out. Pause. And inside that pause, awareness fades completely. No words, no thoughts, no urgency, only sleep, deepening, steady, uninterrupted. If you are still faintly aware, let this be the final moment. Allow the next exhale to carry you fully away, long, slow, complete. And then, nothing, just darkness, just warmth, just quiet. Sleep now.